Next, location, location, location. Dolly Lenz is here to tell you where the houses are selling and how you can get in on the action. We've pretty much all watched a chunk of our home values vanish. Some of us are harder hit than others. And how much home value we've lost really depends very much on location, location, location. So the hood that's been hammered the most, Phoenix, with home prices down nearly 50% since their peak in that location. At the other end of the spectrum, Dallas, whose home values have dropped just another 11% since the height of their market. That makes it the best performing area in the country, especially in big cities. Joining us now, Dolly Lenz, Vice Chairman of Prudential Douglas Element. Dolly, so listen, when you're looking to buy or sell, we have to have this discussion. The location is a huge factor, and across the country, we're seeing different things in terms of when your market's going to come back.
The location is the number one, number two, and number three factor, and pricing for the location is the next most critical factor. You really have to know what the attributes of your area are, and your area can be a half-a-mile area. That's different than the surrounding area. Your area can be something that has a gated community in it or something unusual for any reason.
Yeah, so for example, when we see the state numbers in general within that state, and then like say within Phoenix, there may be some areas that just didn't get hit as hard.
No question. And that's true of every state. So we can't look at national trends and make assumptions for ourselves. We have to look at our very specific trends of our small area.
And also when we bought, right?
Yeah, I think an important part about that location is also what's going on in the demographics. You know, the income, the per capita income relative to house price is so critical. So if we look at areas like New York, for example, where so many Wall Streeters have had a tough time with their careers lately, that could have a major impact on that ratio of income to house price, which could be an issue around choosing your location.
No question.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's head to Fullerton, California, where Mark is on the money line. Mark, how can we help you tonight?
Yeah, hi. Although most of California has been hurt in the housing crisis, the homes in our community have sold in 2 weeks. Our home has 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths with a bonus room. Our home is professionally landscaped with a gourmet kitchen. In addition, the home has French limestone flooring, custom built-in cabinets, a large movie room with an in-ground pool and spa in the backyard, along with a custom built-in barbecue area. Our gated community has basketball, volleyball courts, 2 playgrounds, tennis courts, and walking trails. The surrounding communities were hit hard in the housing crisis, but our gated community has fared well. The question is, can we expect to sell our home for market value in California when technically our community is desired and we know we could demand higher?
Yeah, also, Mark, you have a beautiful, beautiful home, and I think you just did a very good job of selling it to us. But, Dolly, to Mark's point, a gated community, so the outside is not doing so good, but the inside okay. How much should Mark put into his factor into the price what's going on around him?
I think he really needs to know more specifics about the results in the actual gated community. You said houses sold in 2 weeks. How many houses sold in 2 weeks? Why did they sell? Were they foreclosures? Were there something unusual about them? Were they priced really low? We need to know all the details in order to really address that. I find it unusual that houses would have sold in 2 weeks anywhere other than some distressed sale.
Yeah, because I mean, that seems incredibly fast.
Incredible.
Even for any market. I mean,
for
even Manhattan's getting hit, so 2 weeks is a really quick shift. Mark, do you know how many houses sold that quickly?
Yeah, actually there was 2 or 3 of them that sold within 2 weeks of being listed.
Do you know what their prices were? Were they way below asking or what you're asking?
No, they were right at the asking price.
But was he asking below what it should have been? Do you know?
Well, that's what my question is. Maybe we're asking too low of a price. And then also, what are people looking for when selling larger homes within a developed gated community?
Well, I think every community is different, so the aspects of your community are going to be different than the aspects of all the others. I think you need to put forth whatever your very positive things are in your area, your good school system, your security, you know, the college admissions, everything that makes your community special should be out there as a branding effort for your house.
So right, in terms of pricing, though, Mark, you're asking, it is your price. Is his price, do you think the price is there a possibility the prices are too low, and that's why they're getting snapped up so quickly? You
know, I hate to say a price is too low. It would really make me nervous in this market to say that to you and to steer you wrong. I think you really need to get more data about those sales and come back to us, and then we'll review the specifics of it.
Yeah,
Right.
Mark, you got to do a little bit more detective work here because it could be a lot of money. We want to make sure that to advise you right. Thank you so much, Mark. Keep us posted. We've got Dave in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on the money line. Talk to us, Dave.
Hello. I'm trying to sell my home. My home has been on the market for a little over a year now. The home is about 4,500 square feet finished with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, oversized 3-car garage, upgraded kitchen and appliances, 2 fireplaces, one's a C2 fireplace. It's ranked in the top 5 to 10% of energy-efficient homes in Wisconsin.
Wow.
We have a large patio. It sits on 1.8 acres with an in-ground sprinkler system. We are wondering if we're having difficulty selling the home because our home is one of the higher-end homes. Most middle-class families are looking for a home around $200,000. The higher-end homes are selling slower than the average middle-class home. Is the location of our home hurting our home from selling fast? Also, our home is decorated in a contemporary style, and most of the styles in the neighborhood tend to be more traditional or conservative. What should I do for viewers who can't see past the modern furniture?
Well, I think you're hit.
It's a selling point to me. I'm so, Dave, that's a beautiful, beautiful house. But Dolly, that area where he is.
Yeah, it's a traditional area. And I have to tell you, 90% of all people want to buy something traditional because they feel risk averse and they think the contemporary is risky. I find that it'll drop prices in most areas if the home is contemporary, especially if it's too contemporary. Yours doesn't seem to be too contemporary. What I would do is I'd warm it up. Can you add a Persian rug? Can you maybe replace the coffee table with something a little more traditional? Just mix it up a little bit so it's not so specific because your house is absolutely lovely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's really the inside of it. If you had more traditional furniture, the inside would easily move towards the traditional look. I think it's the furniture itself. It's not the house.
Exactly. And I think a few small changes will improve your chances of selling it tremendously.
So he doesn't have to get rid of everything in the house that's contemporary. Just add those touches in there. And also, Dave, we looked up, you're very local, Eau Claire in Wisconsin. The height of the market, your market drop is about 15%.
Which is great.
Which is great.
It's amongst the best in the whole country.
Sure. I mean, the other thing I would think is, unfortunately, in any market, when you can't sell something for as long as that, the question is the price right? Maybe the price is too high. I mean, that might not be what you want to hear, but it is possible.
We have dropped the price quite a bit. We actually started, of course, it was wishful thinking. We started it at $689, and now we just recently dropped it to the price it's at now.
Sure.
But we've made a couple drops along the way. So I'm hoping with spring and summer coming, it's going to help us.
Yeah, I mean, Dolly, how much do you have to drop? How far does Dave go?
I think it really depends on what's going on in his community. And by the way, I personally think everyone should assess that every month. Sit every month with your local realtor and say, what is sold? Why did it sell? What was the pricing on that house versus my house? And you'll see the trends. And try, if you really want to sell the house, try to beat the market. So if the market is, let's say, at $550, go to $535, and you'll be the next house to sell. It's really a key thing in strategizing the pricing.
And when we talk about local markets, Dolly, someone like Dave, is Dave just looking at his street, at his neighbor, or is he looking at more broadly?
It really depends. I mean, there are areas where it's only 3 streets make a neighborhood, and some areas where a whole mile makes a neighborhood. But I would look at the specific 3 streets, and the school district is generally how I manage it. If it's the same school district, it's probably the same neighborhood.
All right, that makes a big point in my neighborhood. Thank you so much, Dave. Please keep us posted. Beautiful home. Bob in Peekskill, New York, you're next up. Tell us what's happening.
My family and I have lived in this house for about 14 years up here in Peekskill. I'm retired. My wife is ready to retire, and we're heading south. The house is a Cape Cod, expanded Cape Cod, 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths. We have vaulted ceilings, skylights, ceiling fans, and a southwest exposure, and she warms up tremendously. We've got a finished basement. My backyard is a second building lot, so if someone wanted to put a house there, they could. But right now it has a above-ground deck swimming pool and a fenced-in yard. We're located on the Hudson River, about a 1-hour train ride to New York City. Community has lots of amenities. We've got artists, a lot of history in the area. We played a big role in the American Revolution.
I love Peekskill, I have to tell you.
Peekskill's great,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's one of my favorite areas.
Community. The schools are great, and lots of things to do for people. Unfortunately, I want to go south.
You want to go south. So you're looking to sell now, Bob, and your local market, how is it doing? I mean, we see here that in Peekskill, New York, it's dropped about 11% from the height.
Which is excellent,
So
again.
not too bad. So, Dolly, what do you think?
Well, transaction volume is way down, though. It's down almost 2/3, which is probably the key in terms of selling. You know, in terms of a quick sale, it's transaction volume that it's all about, more so than pricing.
Right.
But Peekskill has wonderful attributes. I used to fish there, you know, with the little high boots and just go in there fishing, so it's a great fishing community. And I think you really need to identify what are the attributes that make Peekskill special to you. Why did you move there? You know, make a list. Make a list with your broker. Compare the list with your broker. Make sure all those things are out there and everyone knows about it.
So, I mean, this is a situation where, Bob, the outside, meaning the location, is really almost just as important as the home itself.
Oh, no question. Your location is fabulous. The transaction volume is down, so you need to do something to, you know, energize it. And I think telegraphing to everyone, this is why Peekskill is great, will help you tremendously.
Okay, so adding more to what people can do in the town, not just what the house can offer.
Exactly, exactly. And you know what, Bob? We're going to be talking more about this with Dolly. Thank you so much, Bob. Please keep us posted. And thank you, Dolly. Speaking of that, Dolly's going to be back for tonight's Web Extra because she's going to share some out-of-the-box strategies for selling your home faster. Check them out, otm.cnbc.com. If you need help buying or selling a home, tell us about it through Facebook. Join our official page. Just head to otm.cnbc.com to sign up. I'll be there, and I'll see you there.
Thank you.